Hello everyone, the Kentucky Patriot here. We're out on the range, cold, a little bit of snow out here, but that's okay because we are so excited. We are extremely honored and humbled to get to do part 2 of the using trees for cover video with Paul Harrell. We certainly appreciate him, can't thank him enough for this opportunity, and we are super excited to be out here. So I want to thank my camera woman too, my wife, Miss Kentucky Patriot, for braving the elements out here. It's very cold, windy today, so I'm sorry for any wind noise you may hear. But we're out on the range today, and we're going to start just like Paul Harrell did with a 9mm, the green and white box, Remington 115 grain full metal jacket. And we're doing different types of trees. I think he shot mostly fir trees, softwood. We're going to be shooting more hardwood trees today. Now this is maybe a little smaller than some of the trees that he shot, so we're going to start with this, and we'll go up if we need to. But we're going to start out first with the handgun rounds, and we measured about right here, and the circumference was about 6 inches, and we're going to see if these rounds will penetrate, and we've got a water jug behind it. If we have to, we'll go up and we'll see how these rounds do through the tree with the water jug. Now I'm not shooting near the distance Paul Harrell did. Number one, he's a lot better shot than I am, and number two, my wife's the camera woman, so I don't want her downrange with me shooting uprange, so she's standing on the side, so the video quality's not as good. For that, I apologize. We're just using our cell phone, but again, we're super excited. Thank you so much, Paul Harrell, for this opportunity, and we're going to try it out here in this tree and see if it'll penetrate and hit that water jug. Like Paul Harrell said, there's so many variables: length of barrel, projectile, the velocity, the distance you're shooting, and the tree, the different kinds of tree itself. That's why we used a smaller tree, and it did not penetrate. The 9mm did not penetrate. So what we've done, and just what Mr. Harrell done, is we had raised this up just a little bit. It shouldn't change too much here, but we're going to try it with the 45 and see if the 45 will penetrate. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to shoot it with a 230 grain arms core, a couple rounds, and then I'm going to shoot it with a couple of hollow points from Hornady, the American gun. I think they're 185 grain, the ones I've used before at the range. And you say, well, hollow points won't penetrate a tree. They're not good for penetration, but sure as I don't shoot a hollow point, somebody will say, why didn't you shoot a hollow point? So we're going to shoot a couple 230 grain ball ammo, then a couple hollow points, and we'll see if we can get this water jug through the tree. This is the Colt 5-inch 1911 45 ACP 230 grain from Arms Corps. Now again, we measured the circumference of the tree at the bottom at 6.5. So I did move up a little bit, as you'll see. I put a piece of wood, then rock. I did move up about this far from where I shot with the 9mm, but the circumference of the tree shouldn't change much, so it still should be pretty well right on. So here we are. Let's try and see if I can hit a water jug with it. We moved the jug up a little bit again, the same tree. We're going to step it up a little bit to the shotgun. Now, shotgun has a lot of power, but it's shooting a big bullet, so we're going to see if it'll penetrate. What we're shooting is the Federal 1-ounce rifled slug, and then I've got some Remington double-aught buck 9 pellet, and I'm going to shoot it too. Now, as I've moved it up, the jug sticks out just a little bit on each side, which Paul Harrell covered. You got to make sure you're completely behind cover, so I'm going to shoot dead center with both of them and see if it'll penetrate with the slug, and then we'll see the buckshot if it'll penetrate or if it will reach around and get the target here. As you can see here, chewed the tree up really well, but it did not penetrate. And the buckshot, you can see some of the pellets here. It pretty much stayed right here. It did not hit the jug at all. The 9mm didn't penetrate, the 45 didn't penetrate, and even this slug and buckshot did not penetrate. So when you begin to look at hardwood trees, it doesn't take a very big tree to stop basically your handgun rounds or even your shotgun rounds. But like I said, the type of tree, there's a lot of variables there. The size of tree all comes into play. But as you see here, the results, tree's pretty good cover. Now this is a little bit closer than I like to be, but we measured this tree. The distance around it was almost 9 inches, so it's quite a bit bigger. So we'll see what it does with the 5.56 XM 193 ball ammo. Now off camera, the tree that we shot with the 9mm and 45, I shot with the 5.56, zipped right through here, or right through the tree. So really, I was surprised that it did not penetrate this one, to be honest with you. But you could see the shot was dead center, the shots that I took. So instead of going up this time, I'm actually going to shoot just a little bit lower. And what I'm going to do is shoot the, I think Paul, I'm pretty sure he shot the AK round, the 7.62 by 39. I don't have a gun that'll shoot that, but I do have a 7.62 by 54R. This is the silver tip, Mosin Nagant, depends where you're from, how you pronounce it. We're hillbillies, we pronounce it Mosin Nagant. So I'm going to take my Mosin with the silver tip ammo. I'm going to aim just right under the 5.56 rounds here, and we'll see if this round can penetrate this tree. Here we are, 7.62 by 54R. Again, the silver tip, long barrel, big heavy gun. Let's see what happens. As you can see, the 7.62 by 54R had no problem going through the tree. These rounds are almost on top of each other, but I do not think that they went through the same hole. There's this much difference between them, and both of them penetrated out the back. The first one just must have deviated because there's a hole in the back of the tree. If she comes around here just a little bit, you can see the tree here. There's actually 2 holes in the back. I'm getting tangled up here. But the first round just deviated and missed the jug. The second one, as you can see, hit the jug. We may find one more tree and try it again with the 5.56 and see if we can find a different species of tree, and we'll see the results. And I want to apologize. I feel like a total idiot. Mr. Harrell, I hope I didn't ruin the video. But it's cold and snowy, and my wife doesn't want to film all this again. I took a day off work to come do this, and my kids are in school. We got to leave and go pick them up a little bit. But I greatly apologize. I should have looked at the tape measure before we brought it. I didn't. I was in a hurry. We was trying to film this. If you look, this isn't like most tape measures. This goes all the way to 1 foot, and then instead of being 13, 14, 15, it starts over at 1. So I have measured all these trees wrong. Now what I'll do is I'll put a description or a link up on top of my video that says what the actual measurements were. I am so sorry. So like on this tree here, if you look, if I measured around where I'm going to shoot it, it's actually, I said like 6 inches earlier and it was really 18, so I'm so sorry. So right here, if you look real quick, it's showing actually 1 inch. But what it is actually 1 foot and 1 inch. So I am so sorry. I've never seen a tape measure like this. Common sense should have told me that tree was bigger than 6 inches, but I was so busy trying to shoot and yeah, trying to get out of the cold, to be honest with you. I'm not complaining, so I'm so thrilled to do this video. But from the bottom of my heart, I'm sorry. Paul, if you want me, I'll try to get another day, another range video and do all this over again. But we've been out trying to find trees. Like I said, it's cold and windy today. My wife's nice enough to come out and help me, and I messed this up, and I am so sorry. So we're going to shoot this one now. It's a 13 inch. I'm going to try it the 5.56, totally different species of trees. And I'm not a conservationist. I'm not a naturalist. I'm not a park ranger. I'm really not great with species of trees when the leaves aren't on. the summertime, of course, obviously when they got acorns and hickory nuts and the leaves, the maple leaves, you can tell the difference between a hickory and a birch or a oak tree or a beech tree or whatever. But we're going to try this one, and again, I'm sorry, I greatly apologize, but we're going to try this one with the 5.56. We'll see how the 5.56 does with this 13-inch circumference tree. All right, let's try it, see what happens. Let's see how it does on a dead tree. Had no problem with the dead tree, but it had so many holes in it. A couple more wouldn't matter. But again, I want to thank you, Mr. Harrell, for giving us the opportunity. We are so honored. And again, I am so sorry about the tape measure and not paying attention like I should have. You're such a professional channel, and then here I go and do something like that, so I do apologize. But who knows, maybe when it warms up, I'll come back out here and shoot a few more trees, maybe some different species, or maybe some different calibers, or just get different size trees. But I had so much fun with this, even though the weather is snowing and windy and it's cold. Just getting out here and just learning for myself, just seeing how different rounds will do on different trees, and how far they'll penetrate, or how, what they'll do. It's been a lot of fun, and it's been absolutely a great honor. So again, Mr. Harrell, thank you for allowing us to do part 2 of the using trees for cover video. I'm going to try it again with a 9mm, 115 grain Remington green and white box. We measured this tree. It's a different tree. So the circumference is 16 inches. So the tape measure, what it says is 4 inches. So what you do is whatever measurement I told you, you just add a foot to it. So I know it's confusing. I've never seen a tape measure do that, start over like that, but that one did. Again, I apologize. But this one is 16 inches is the circumference. So we're going to try it again with the 9mm and see if it'll penetrate this tree. Went a little bit higher up, so let's see how it does. As you can see, 2 shots, it did not penetrate. I'd say it's getting awful close. I kind of thought it might, but it didn't. So it doesn't take a very large tree at all to stop handgun rounds. So I'm going to try it again with the 45, and let's see what happens. Now we're going to try it with the 45, 5-inch government model. We're going to shoot the 230 grain arms core first, and then I'm just for fun, I'm going to shoot the 185 grain hollow point from Hornady, the American Gunner. And now we didn't build it up and move the water jug up, but what I'm going to do, just aim a little bit higher. So we'll see. It shouldn't change the circumference of it. I know trees get smaller as they get taller as you go up, but I'm just going to aim a little bit higher, and let's see if the big 45 will go through it. This is really neat. It did not penetrate, as you can see. You can see the 9mm and then the 45s. I shot a little bit higher, but if you can see this busted the entire side of the tree. So it actually, even all the way to the back. If she can bring the camera around here, I'd like for you to see this. Look at here, it busted the tree completely, but it did not penetrate. All this bark is just, I could almost break it off, but it did not penetrate. But that's about as close as you can get from going all the way through. So that was a pretty good test. And again, I want to thank everybody for watching, all the friends we've met on this channel. Thank you guys for commenting, for all your support. Again, thanks to Paul Harrell. We just had a great day. This was so much fun, so neat just to try the different rounds in wood and see how they perform. So again, thanks to Paul Harrell. God bless you. Thank you again for watching the Kentucky Patriot. Signing off.